The Bermuda Triangle mystery is one of the mysterious legends that we haven't been able to solve to this day. Let's take a journey about 600 years back in time. Our story begins with a man who wanted to sail across the ocean to the continent filled with spices, silk, and minerals, that is, Asia. Going to Asia by land would have taken an incredibly long time, so he thought, why don't I build sturdy ships and find a few sailors to reach Asia another way? What could go wrong? The man I'm talking about was Christopher Columbus. He started his journey in 1492 with a little help from the Spanish royal family, and everything was going fine, except for the fact that he was heading in the completely wrong direction. However, as he neared the end of his journey, he noticed something very strange. At the time, he was unaware of it, but he was passing through the notorious Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is the point of no return. It is the terrifying place between Bermuda, Puerto Rico, and Florida. There are many stories about ships, boats, and planes disappearing in this mysterious place, and while some of them were found years later, others vanished from the face of the earth. Perhaps they are waiting to be discovered under the ocean. One thing is certain. No one has any idea what is happening there. People have been trying to solve what is going on for years, but no results have come out. So, what was it that Christopher Columbus saw on that dark night? What had frightened him so much? According to his diary, Columbus saw a massive glow in the sky. Other mysteries of the sea. By the way, the sea's only mystery isn't limited to the Bermuda Triangle. Have you ever heard of the Kraken? A giant squid capable of capsizing a huge ship. No? Then you're lucky. Imagine you are traveling on a ship, feeling the wind blowing through your hair like in the Titanic movie, with your hands on your waist. Then imagine a giant squid silently approaching from the cold, dark depths of the water, its tentacles wrapping around the ship and dragging the massive vessel to the bottom of the ocean. And what about a sea serpent named Leviathan that is looking for a snack for lunch and chasing your boat at high speed? I hope it's not real. Then there are sirens, the ruthless but beautiful creatures of the sea. They love to sit on rocks and do karaoke. These sounds attract sailors and cause them to steer their ships toward dangerous rocks. On the other hand, mermaids are wonderful. They also like to do karaoke, but they don't bother with things like breaking ships. Let's not forget the peg-legged pirates, raiding ships, making attacks, and so on. What else do these guys do all day? Anyway, let's go back to our Italian friend, Columbus. The mystery of light. Perhaps what he saw was just a storm. Oh, come on, how could he not have thought of that? Maybe we aren't 600 years old and weren't there when this event happened, but the strange thing is that he didn't mention any big waves, heavy rain, or strong winds. He only described a single glow in the sky. Maybe the dolphins were putting on a fireworks show. After the glow he saw, Columbus wrote that the compass needle literally started dancing. The event was getting more and more interesting. His writings end with a friendly turtle emerging from the water with sunglasses, pushing the three ships to the shore, and then everyone going off to get hot dogs. I'm joking. So, what do you think happened? Scientists think they have found the answer. They think it could be an asteroid that fell into the ocean, but wait a minute. What about what happened to the compass then? What did that have to do with the asteroid? Asteroids can come in different shapes and sizes, and the best parts are inside them. They are full of minerals and metals worth millions of dollars. Scientists are trying to figure out how they could land on a large asteroid and extract the minerals inside. This must be a pretty big asteroid. It would have to be the size of Rhode Island or something. Why? Because if it were that big, it would likely have a magnetic field around it, which would make it possible to land on it. Scientists think that the magnetic fields around some asteroids could last for millions of years, and therefore the Bermuda mystery might be solved. Captain Christopher Columbus's compass had lost its way because the asteroid had fallen right near it. In fact, this might also explain other strange Bermuda stories. Disappearance of ships and planes. The USS Cyclops naval ship set sail about 100 years ago to go from Barbados to Baltimore and headed into the middle of the Bermuda Triangle, but it never reached Baltimore. Even though search teams looked for the ship for years, they couldn't reach anything. The ship just disappeared. In 1945, 5 military planes disappeared. They were also flying right over the Bermuda Triangle. However, why does the asteroid, which has been at the bottom of the sea for the last 5 centuries, still cause problems? Magnetic field game. Radar and old compasses are connected to the Earth's magnetic field. Thanks to radar, flights all over the world are tracked. And a faulty radar detection means there are some problems. If you want, place a magnet next to a compass and see what happens. The compass needle is a small magnet and always points north, but if you put it next to a strong magnet, the needle turns toward it. Well, what about the Chinese ship captains, who were the first to invent the compass, which was the only thing that could guide you to reach the shore? Before, people either traveled along the coast or only to islands they could see. Sailors with compasses could record where they were going, so other people could go there too. But we have the newest technology, so why can't we find answers to our questions? Is that asteroid still under the sea? Look, to find out whether it is or not, how can we go down there? This would not be our first deep-sea dive. After all, the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the world, has been reached. The Mariana Trench makes climbing Mount Everest look very simple, and the number of people who have been able to go there so far is limited to only 2. Because it is so deep, the water pressure is extremely high. The only way to go down is to ride in a high-tech tank or something that won't collapse under pressure. Things like that aren't cheap either. Depths. What is down there? A dark, quiet, and beautiful landscape, and also a lot of animals that are foreign to us. The Bermuda Triangle is not as deep as the Mariana Trench, so it might be possible to go down there one day. Well, what happens if we go into the depths? Maybe we can discover the asteroid Columbus saw, but it might have millions of fish that have made it their home. Even all the missing ships and planes might be waiting for us down there. Or we could see something you never expected. Prehistoric squids, sharks, and turtles with special skills like night vision. Or we could find gold, because in the old days, many ships full of gold and silver sank on the return journey from America to Europe. Some of the wrecks had fire marks, and some were split in 2. Most of them are still standing there. Once, Japanese divers found something that looked like an ancient underwater pyramid. They weren't sure whether it was natural or man-made. Someone captured a strange image with an underwater radar in the Baltic Sea. Was it a spaceship or a strange-looking rock? A beautiful vintage car was hidden in the depths of a lake in Switzerland. It was brought to the shore, cleaned, and sold for over $350,000. One day, Japanese fishermen found a tiny round boat with a glass top, and inside was a red-headed woman. Some thought a fairy tale was true. Others claimed she was a magical creature. The Bermuda Triangle sounds spooky. However, the islands near it are like paradise. One of these islands is Bermuda. Bermuda is a small island where English is spoken. The other points of the triangle are the tip of Florida and the American island of Puerto Rico. And in the center of these wonders and beautiful lands is the Bermuda Triangle, the mystery of which has not been fully solved. To you watching on the screen, what do you think about this topic?